Hello and welcome. Yeah, here today we are back with Nomad Idle again. This is actually coming out today as of the time this video is out. And so yeah, I've been playing it for a little bit because the developer gave me some early access to it. Give me one moment. Actually, I've heard this sound up. It sounds, I had the sound pretty low in here. So, developer gave me an early access key for it, and we've looked at it when it was a playtest and when it was a demo, and now we're here. So, jumping in. I am let me double check this real quick while this person does this. There'll be things going on that you do not see as I go check my Steam page real quick. All right, according to Steam, I am about 25 hours in. So, basically, okay, now this is actually, it is technically an idle game, so you don't actually have to click anywhere. Right now, we're actually doing a thing here to get to level 26. I'll explain all that as we go. All right, so quickly, I'll go through all of the stuff that's in the game that I can tell you about. Okay, so events, we have tons of completed events. If you played the playtest or the demo, your save actually carries over and progress. So we have some discoverable events, and these have your description at the bottom. They tell you exactly what it is, and I haven't been quite able to get any of these three. I haven't even managed to get 50 in Winterscape as anyone, much less the Crusader. So that's the one that I have been working on. We are in that area, but we're not actually trying to get that at the moment because we're farming some materials for some equipment. Now, down here we have our stats. As you play the game, every time you level up, you get 1 point in stats. There are a lot of achievements that give you stats that you start with, so you will eventually be starting with a tremendous amount of stats. Each of these affects your character or your summons in some way. So, let's jump through that, and I think I'm going to go with this right here, because I want to kind of get the summons up a little bit. Now, going to the next line, we have in equipment. As you play through, you will find tons of equipment. Oh, I still have some things here. I wonder which area that is that I haven't found. I'll have to check it out. So you have tons of different things, and at the start you can upgrade them to 9, and then later I've been able to get one item that allowed me to upgrade some of the early ones up to 29, which is still giving me a tremendous amount of more power per thing, because it gives, like, this is 21 defense and 900 health. This one's 30 extra mana regen. Like, it's a crazy amount, and you have a ton of that stuff. Each of these materials will actually, when you hover over it, it will tell you exactly where it's at. So if you're here, if you look down here, you can see this drops in Winterscape or in the Descent in these areas, and this one's for bags in Winterscape, but not other stuff. Whereas this one happens to drop in bags in the Soul Furnace, which is the level before Winterscape, or in Winterscape in these areas, and you can actually use that as a guide to farm. A lot of times what I've noticed is Stage 6 is sort of a magic bullet. It usually has all of the drops on it. So if you look at, like, this one, we have Frost Giants at Stage 6. You look at this one, we've got Trolls, Stage 6. This one has drops everywhere. In this one, we have Harpies, Stage 6 again. As you can see, Winged Kobolds, Stage 6. This gives us something that just gives us everything. We don't get as much, so you can't focus anything down this way, but you can do a lot of things. That allows you to upgrade or craft these equipment. The equipment give you a bunch of stats. Each one gives you a ton of stats. So we'll just make as many as we can on that. All right, then we have summons. Summons, you start with the Fox, and then you have to unlock everyone else, and I'll explain how you do that here in just a moment. They will go up in levels until, once they hit maximum level, they stay at maximum level, even when they come out the next time, if I remember correctly, because it seemed like once my Fox hit max, he didn't ever have to level up again. So, again, I apologize, there's a ton of stuff in here, so it's technically still playing right behind this menu here. These are permanent currencies, and you will be using them to upgrade these things, and these seem to also be permanent. So as you level up your summons, he's going to get better and better and better with which character? Do we even have one of these active right now? Which character am I in here with? Let me remember. Which character am I in here? I'm in here with the cultists. Yes. So we want to... Oh, yeah, he's set as active. So he's going, and he has trinkets. Each of them when you get them, they start with a trinket, and then you can actually put those trinkets on other pets if you want. So that's the upgrades there. There's an upgrade of the upgrades, where you can upgrade these over here, which will increase the amount of experience they passively get, and these, which increases their stat caps. All right, we're not done yet. Well, we're getting there. Skills. Skills have starting values, and sometimes they'll be like stuck down here. Sometimes for some reason, they sometimes stay at a low level, which isn't so bad, because that can mean that you can afford it sometimes, because some of these things can get kind of expensive. Like, if I crank all these sliders, we're never going to see mana. Ever. All right, we have some unused stat point. Let's get in here real quick and let's just take our intelligence, because I want to get the pet up a little bit more. See if we can get that. Now, what it's talking about the bags is like these. You can click on and you'll see cups and things like that. You don't have to click on those things. They just give you extras. It is actually an idle game, and from what the developer said, he expects about a week's worth of play in that, because it doesn't really want it to be super grindy and stuff. So we're going to have that about a week's worth of play. Now, this is Ascension. I'll explain that in a little bit, because I don't want to go through everything. Objectives is your achievements and how to unlock things. World map. That's one of the other cool parts. There are a lot of areas so far. And each one tells you what materials it gets. So when you're making your gear, you know which area, which map to farm. And when you cross-reference that with where it tells you what floors they use, you get the ability to do super easy farming. So, very cool stuff there. You also get these, which we will go into one here in just a little bit, because I want to show you these, because these are crazy. All right, settings, normal stuff. Okay, now we are currently on 26, and this is what we're working for. We're working for these materials specific to this, because I'm trying to get that mana regen up, because it is just, wow, I am always out of mana. Always. Like, we have 976 mana per second regen, and I am always out. Like, it's just that. All right, so I don't think this character's I don't think we'll make 50 on this run. So what I do want to show you, and we can always bop back here in a moment, we're going to take this and we're going to turn that off for a moment. And this actually allows you to tell it what level specifically you want to go to. And so you can crank that up and say, okay, I want to be on 37. I want to be on 46, because it gives me the most, and it's the 6, which seems to be the magic bullet. So a lot of times I was on 26 when we were here. The highest stage I've cleared was 30 on this one, and it looks like we actually are doing pretty okay there. Let's get these 2 points spent. Again, I'm going to pump that up a little bit. Now, since these currencies can help both you and them. Now, in our stats, I did forget to mention, you can increase the cap of your stats by paying gold, and that's one of the things that you're going to do, and you're going to do for your pet. So, we're going to go with agility, because agility gives me something that I really, 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 really like, which is evade. So, you're not expected to have to sit there and pay attention to this. In fact, I would say probably about 80% of the 20 hours. No, I wouldn't say 80%. I would say out of the 25-ish hours so far, I would say that's probably, because I'm trying to look through the systems and do everything, I would say I probably spent 6 to 10 hours hands-on. And you don't even really need to do that. You know, that was just me learning systems and things like that. All right, we got ourselves another point here. Let's go ahead and put our point in. Now, one of the things I really... Oh, yeah, get this. Crit chance and evasion on one stat is just so good. So good. All right, let's go ahead and... Well, we don't have enough. Okay. So he's active. So now let's get this, and let's see if we can beat 40. I know I'm not going to be able to beat 50, but if we can beat 40, it'll actually do something. Now, you can actually click in here, and it will help, depending on the character you're using. I actually have them both being auto-cast, so you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You can literally right-click and set them to auto-cast, and they'll just do that, which is good. Because, again, it's made to be an idle game. There's a few instances of unlocks where you have to click things specifically on the screen, but those instances are also very well pointed out that, like, hey, you need to click on the X on the screen kind of thing. Like, you did a good job of making you do it, even if you were doing it absent-mindedly. I don't know if we're going to make it. That health is dropping at an alarming rate, and I don't think I put a lot of points into health regen. We have a lot of health, though. We do really actually have a lot of health. All right, let's go here, do that. Oh, that almost killed me. So that wasn't a great idea. Maybe that wasn't the best of choices. Yeah, maybe we'll get a little more. Ah! Oh, we were so close. Okay, so let's jump over here because I want to show these. When you get to the point where you're farming for ascension materials, and ascension points are earned by getting drops of the appropriate tier of materials, and every 100,000 you get of drops you get 1 point of ascension. So right now we've already got 298 of these tier 2 materials, and we've got this somehow. Oh, tier 4 and tier 5 materials are combined. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So what I do want to show you, once you get in that loop, by the way, once your guy kind of dies, sometimes he doesn't seem to come back very well. And I don't say that to be mean, but sometimes it's like you'll get stuck where the level after the level that you're on is just a little too hard for the character in the beginning, which is kind of funny. So coming down here, say for example you want to farm ascension points because it requires a lot of materials, or you're maxing out some of your other stuff, you can come down to these, and these have, let's go with a tier, I need tier 4 materials the most, but I think I need some tier 3s. So we'll jump down here, and you'll see like where we were at, we were getting like 30 and 40 of materials. In here, you're getting 220. Like, just crazy amounts of materials. So while you're farming, if you have these open, it can be a really good way to farm your ascension points, because you'll get ascension points pretty fast from this way. Because you're just getting so much stuff. Now, to optimize this, there is one thing that I actually really liked in this, and again, like, if you don't have to do any of these sort of hands-on things, one of the things I really appreciated, though, was when you go into your skills, if you see this, do you notice how this is here? This skill is, for reasons that I have no idea why, decided it's going to not, even though it's leveling up, you can see them getting experience, these passive skills do level. You can see the experience levels on all of them. And if I go into my menu, you can see I have some 24s and some other stuff. They all have their own levels. And then you can actually bring this down and set this. And it'll change the mana cost, the damage multipliers, and everything else. And you can sit there and tune these for when you're farming. Say you know these are the settings that'll get you to where you have just enough mana to make sure everything casts. You can actually optimize it that much, which is kind of crazy, but also functional. It does work. And I want to show you something, because there's a trick you can do pretty early into the game, and it can help you out when you're farming early game. And sometimes farming early game can take a lot of time. Now, we're just looking for ascension stuff. So we're already up to 9 points. You can actually see the tree already. There's this area that I haven't unlocked yet. And I haven't gotten enough points in 4 to get anywhere. But you can look at the tree while you're in the match. I have a tier 1 materials, tier 2 materials I have a ton of. And then tier 3 materials I don't have very many. There's a reason for that, and I expect things will be different soon. So, and then you can trade materials downwards. So I could trade tier 3 materials for tier 2 materials, tier 2, and all those systems. There's a ton of little systems that you can poke at, kind of to however much you want to do. What I was saying about like some of the events, there's a map that's basically on like what's a sandy beach looking thing, like an island. Sometimes you'll have X's where you can click. It'll unlock one of these events that will generate usually it's been equipment. And then there's another stage where there's chests on it, but you're only talking about having to do that like once or twice, maybe 3 times ever if you don't want to touch it, you can just let it idle in the background. And I did let it idle for most of that time. Like I said, I really like the way it's designed and the way it's laid out. Plus, it's a little... For me, it's one of the reasons that I don't really super get into idle games. Because a lot of times it's not even... Like, there's not even a lot of animations. It's just watching bars go up. Which isn't terrible, but... I feel like this feels more interactive. It isn't, but it feels it. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna keep cranking you up. Now, I was gonna say one of the things you can do, and we're gonna go in here. We're gonna change some equipment, and I think you're gonna laugh when you see this. So let's go ahead and change these out. We'll change these two out. Now, if you're farming early levels, one of the first skills that you'll get unlocked very early is Fire Spark, and very shortly after that you'll get Ghost Blade. These both, warning this skill, can activate very quickly while making, which while powerful will sap your mana. It's not kidding. It's not joking. This one has the same thing. So when we put this in here, and then we put this in here, and then we crank these up. We don't even have to crank them up to much. We can just crank them up to like, we'll just take it up to 25 here. We'll just crank it up. And we can actually almost turn these off. I know that sounds funny. I don't know what level the maximum level on those is. And you can now see these look at how fast we're killing now. Once you've overclassed something and you have it on farm, these two skills will run you out of mana. I am not kidding. They will 100% run you out of mana the faster you go. Because they will start killing things as fast as this game can spawn them. And the only thing you have to do is make sure that you have a decent amount of intelligence and a decent amount of dexterity, which we don't have. And I can actually go downwards here. So if I take this down to 60 and I add that to here, this is now going to... We now have a huge chance for both of these things to be proccing. And as you can see, it's chewing things up everywhere on the screen. So we have this skill setup when you're just on farm is crazy good. And then it's just a matter of balancing those levels so that you can be like, okay, I want some mana in reserve. Because look, we were already there. Now it's just drained our mana. And this feels like a really suboptimal way to play when you're thinking about like, but I don't have any mana conservation at all going on here. Yeah, that's true. But did you really need it? Because in this case, you probably don't. And as you can see, we start racking in the loot at a crazy, crazy speed. Hello, kitten. I'm so glad you crawled underneath my monitor and almost knocked it down. Can we maybe not do that? Okay. Pardon me. I have to go pet a cat. Oh, who's a pretty kitty? Huh? You gonna come sit next to me? Because you're not gonna lay down there. That's where my mouse goes. Oh, I know. Nobody knows the troubles you've seen. Gotta get some little pettins right now. Okay. Let me pause. She wants a lot of pettins. Alright, I am back. Cat is happy again. Alright, so like I said, this one, like once you get an area on farm, those two skills will basically murder everything. And then you can just get in here and just crank them up so that they keep doing as much damage as possible. And that's where your mana all goes away. And it'll feel like it shouldn't work very well because you're constantly out of mana. But it still ends up working great. Like, the only thing you can do to make this work better is to go in here and just play with the sliders individually until you get to a mana neutral or not so much a mana neutral, but it has the mana to proc every time it tries to proc. And the reason I say that is because, like, say if you turn this down to like 20 over here, and then we're at 19 here, so let's go to 20 here. It's not quite killing them. So we end up with a little bit less actual outgoing damage. So then you can come in here and go, okay, then that didn't work. Let's go up to 25 on both of these. Okay. We'll see. Are we killing? Now we're starting to kill faster because we're starting to kill. When those sparks kill things, it starts to become a situation of where, yeah, you're not gonna be mana positive like ever. and if you're worried about mana efficiency, it's not. But if you're willing to play completely suboptimal in the concept of like resource management, you can earn a ton of ascension points fairly quick, which is really nice. So it does give you that option that when you are coming in here and when you're doing your farming and you're going to leave it somewhere overnight, you can actually kind of try to set this up. And it takes like about 5 minutes. And that's how I got a ton of those other materials, was just a regular level, not even the good one that gives 220, but just a plain old regular level, and just left it going overnight. So you do get stats at a pretty fair rate, I would say. All right, we're going to try and get that one up just a little bit more soon, but we're not too worried about that. We're pretty much as high in the levels as we will normally go. Like I said, I need tier 4, so we're going to be moving back over to tier 4 stuff. I don't have anywhere down here I can do tier 4 materials yet. This is let's check out the descent, because I haven't actually been there yet. All right, can we make it to even level 10? Because when you get a new area, they are genuinely rough, because you have a bunch of new events specific to that. So let's see, stage 10, stage 40, 20, 50, 17, but with the Cobalt. So most of our leveling, so that's not too bad. We don't really have anything. You can see we're already like mobbed over here. It's kind of crazy. So we got to go in here and we're going to crank these up. And one thing I did notice though is when you are, let's go ahead. What is this? 7-second cooldown. All right, let's do that. And let's do that because I'm going to have things on top of me all the time. So we're just going to crank those up. When you are pushing for a deeper area, sometimes taking those out, because they don't do as much damage, they don't do a huge amount of damage. Oh, yeah. Hey. So when you're going through, you actually get these little story blurbs, and they're all really good. So let me read this one. Your surroundings distort. Each of your enemies' movements stretches out like shapes submerged in the deep water. Or in deep water. The rhythm of your pulse thunders in your ears, and within a few heartbeats, everything comes to a stop. Every foe, every swirling speck of dust, frozen in mid-motion. Only your thoughts remain free, drifting through the sudden hush. Though through the stillness, the familiar silhouette coalesces at the edge of your vision, as though emerging from a dream. Its voice resonates in the silence. You're making good progress, further than most have made it. A solemn weight enters its tone. Further than I. In a measured pause, the smoky figure extends a hand. The strands of darkness shimmering around its fingers. I offer you more of my power, it murmurs. Use it well. A faint glow envelopes you like a silent surge of energy that sets your nerves alight, and in the quiet void, where time quaint void. It's a very cozy void. Where time stands still, you sense your strength growing, then like the ghost of a memory, the silhouette fades back into the shadow, leaving you with a renewed edge and a final unspoken command to press upwards. Okay, now tier 2 equipment can be upgraded to level 9. So now I actually have something to go farm for, too. Besides trying to see how far we can get in here, which was apparently about that level. So let's go on down here. And we know that we got tier 2 in two different sets of tier 2s. So let's start on this tier 2. And I think we'll just keep with the skills we have here, because it'll be kind of cool to see all those fireballs getting... Yeah, this is pretty cool. So, now, tier 2, when you have this equipment, because you do have a lot of upgrades in this game, and you will have tons of equipment. And as you can see, like, now we have all kinds of things to upgrade. And you look, they're fairly expensive, too. Like, some of these things are expensive. This can now go all the way up to level 29, and it's just straight adding damage. Like, how much damage can this thing add by itself? Oof, we ran out of materials. We'll get them back soon, though. I'm pretty sure that material drops here. Somewhere in here. On one of them floors. Probably floor 6. As weird as it is, like floor 6 really was kind of the magic number for almost every single one of them, the gear sets, because they almost all shared number 6. So it was like, oh, let's go find out though. Oh no, I think that one's in the other one. So we're in that one. Yeah, that one's in the other one. So we'll have to go in there for a little bit too. But that's okay, because again, we're going to have a lot of stuff that we can upgrade and change. That's going to add damage, it's going to add critical multiplier, it's going to add defense, it's going to add health. We can literally do this forever. Oh, one of the nice things is, since we're grabbing this level 2, if we come in here, we can actually come down here and get him up to 13. I want to get them all up to 13. Oh, I need to farm over that eventually. As you can see, it gives you a lot of reasons to be actually letting it idle in the background, as well as a lot of reasons to like kind of watch. It's actually a nice... I actually had fun just watching it play sometime too. It was just like, oh, cool. Because it's like watching, well, it's an AI playing a Survivor game. You know? Like, how cool are the abilities? Sometimes while you're playing Survivor games, you can't see yourself, so you're kind of... Those are usually some really good ones too. Usually, like, especially if you find ones that have that, they get that proper balance between everything is going to be exploding and maybe not everything needs to explode. Yeah, I gotta work on my tier 4s. But yeah, we can use crazy amounts of ascension points so fast from doing these things. We'll pop into the other one just so we can upgrade some gear. But what we're going to do is we're going to run these stages for just a minute or two more, and that'll get us a absolute ton of materials. And when we combine it with the materials in the other area, then we run that for a couple minutes. So when you are doing your hands-on stuff, there's a lot of things that you can set up. And most of this stuff like this, like, that's crazy. Once you get in, you're just going to have all the materials you need. All right, let's see here. We got a lot. So insight, by the way, on these you can go here and it'll tell you what each one does. I've been doing insight because insight actually casts one of your spells on its thing, but damage and speed are also really good because speed is also hits crit chance and damage is basically all just a multiplier of the damage it does. We're hoping this will get up there because it only needs to get to level 30. It may not. It may during this run. But if it does, then that's another one. Then I can start... I'm starting to work my way through upgrading all of these things. So yeah, now we're probably good. Let's see what we got here. We got 30 points. But if we go over to, say, our bow here... 74k is a little worrying. Like, I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. But let's go to the other area. Here's our tier 2 ore here. And as we go, we will start getting a lot more upgrades being able to be done. Right now we're in plants. There we go. There's some wood. There's some plants. Plants. I think I might have seen ore for a brief moment. It winked at me once. I mean, it is there. You can see that number is going up rapidly. So let's go with this. Let's get the bow. Let's get the beret. Ooh, anything that gives me mana regen. Give me all the mana regen. Because I need all of it. Ooh, that one's done too. Oh, defense. Mana regen. Evasion. You know what? Let's crank that one. Because a lot of evasion will be real good. We are fairly evasive as it is, but if we can get that upwards, that's not bad at all. So yeah, there's a lot of reason to, like, there's a lot of different systems. I mean, like, half of this video is me looking at menus and explaining those things. And this is a 30-minute video. That's a lot of systems. But the nice part is you don't actually have to interact with them past what you're comfortable with. Because it seems like everything can just be idled away in the background as you like, and then getting your progress that way. With the exception of a few things, it feels like it's actually works really well for being able to do either that or being a little more hands-on like I've been. And like I said, this is about 25 hours in. We got a... Yeah, see, look at that. Now we got a ton of ore. No, our bow is still not good. That helmet's about to go away, though. Goodbye, chainmail. Oh, goodbye, hunter's garb. Oh, nope, can't get that one. We'll just do all the upgrades of everything that we can upgrade. Oh, is that all of it? Nope, our bow. There we go. So yeah, this has been Nomad Idle. Again, if you like idle games, it's probably going to be pretty fun. I think it's pretty fun. But I don't play a huge ton of idle games. I play Survivor games, and it reminds me of what a Survivor game would be if it's an idle game. I like the whole looting and collecting and upgrading all your stuff just to make sure that you've got it. Oh, hold on. We're going to get that last upgrade here in a moment. We just have to hit the right level. There we go. Boop. Gone. I just got this axe, and man, it has some really good skills in it. But man, tier 4 materials. Still the bane of my existence. Even with these upgrades, that last area, that winter area is, whoo boy. It's rough. When it starts like actually beating you down, it's like, okay. Yeah, that's a lot of guys. Oh, that's a lot of guys standing on, oh, that's a lot of guys that were standing on my toes. Now I'm dead. And it feels like it's just about that fast once it goes wrong. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just tells me that I need more gear levels. I gotta farm this, farm that, farm a few more other things. Alright, so this has already jumped past 30 minutes, and I was trying to make this like a 25-minute video. So this has been Nomad Idle. If you enjoyed this, there's a link to the Steam page in the description. If you enjoyed the video, hope you come back for the next one. And as always, have a great day.